Imagine a world where Geppetto's chisel carved a completely different fate. What if the lonely old carpenter didn't make a wooden boy, but crafted a clever wooden girl instead? Welcome to this explainer, where we're diving into the story of Pinocchia. It's an alternate universe concept that completely flips the classic fairy tale on its head. And trust me, her lies didn't just make her nose grow, it was way weirder and honestly much more spectacular than that.
We all know the original curse, right? That growing nose that acts as a highly inconvenient lie detector? Well, Pinocchia's story immediately diverges here. She is gifted, or maybe curse is the better word, with willow hair that literally turns her into a walking garden every single time she fibs. It completely shifts the dynamic of the story and sets us up for a totally different kind of adventure.
Section 1. A completely different fate. The creation of Pinocchia. Master Geppetto spent days in his quiet, sawdust-filled Italian village working by soft candlelight to craft this new masterpiece. His craftsmanship was absolutely meticulous. He smoothed out polished pine into these delicate golden braids and carved a beautiful wooden dress, right down to the intricate lace edges. You can really picture a creator pouring his absolute heart and soul into this wooden girl before any magic is even involved.
And her personality, it is crystal clear from the exact moment the blue fairy descends to bring it to life. Pinocchia just blinks, looks around the dusty workshop, and delivers this wonderfully sharp critique. "Father Geppetto, why is this workshop so untidy?" Geppetto just wept tears of joy, of course. He was completely unaware of the unique magic she held. He just finally had his daughter. But man, that witty, observant spark right out of the gate, it lets us know Pinocchia is not going to be easily led astray.
Section 2. The Weeping Willow Curse, Escalating Foliage.
Unlike her famous brother whose nose simply pointed out his dishonesty, Pinocchia basically became a walking botanical experiment. Because her hair was carved from weeping willow branches, a lie didn't just stretch the wood, it brought it to life. Every time she told a lie, her hair would instantly sprout leaves and grow longer. So this wasn't just a physical tell, it was a rapidly expanding horticultural disaster. And the escalation of her lies is just beautifully chaotic. Say she tells a simple white lie, like, "No, father, I didn't touch the fresh pastries." Boom. Her braids grow 10 centimeters and sprout tiny green leaves. Manageable, right? But what if she tells a bigger lie, like claiming she went straight to school and definitely didn't talk to any suspicious animals? The result is catastrophic. Her hair erupts into a dense, tangled jungle of branches, completely wrapping around her until she literally looks like a walking potted plant.
So, her everyday life quickly became all about managing this massive secret. Just imagine the sheer chaos of trying to hide your fibs by constantly carrying a pair of pruning shears in your pockets. But here's the catch. Magic wood grows way faster than any scissors can cut. You can't just trim away your lies when they're sprouting new branches by the second. She was totally losing a battle against her own botany.
Section 3. Weaponizing the tangled truth. Outsmarting the fox and the cat. Things take a thrilling turn when she runs into the classic villains, the cunning, honest John the Fox and Gideon the Cat. They try to trick her out of her gold coins, but Pinocchia, with that clever wit of hers, isn't easily fooled. Instead of falling into their trap, she decides to weaponize her curse. She deliberately tells a massive, outrageous lie. "I am the enchanted guardian of the northern forest. If you step any closer, the roots of the earth will capture you." She knows exactly what a lie of that magnitude is going to do to her willow hair. The mechanics of this defense are just fantastic. The very second that lie leaves her lips, her hair explodes into massive, sprawling vine-like branches. These wooden tendrils violently whip through the air, catch the fox and the cat right by their ankles, and hoist them completely upside down into a high oak tree. She didn't just get caught in a lie. She used her curse as an active, offensive defense mechanism. The terrified fox perfectly captures the climax of all this, screaming, "She's not a puppet, she's a moving forest, run!" I mean, she completely flipped the script on them. They thought they were manipulating some naive little wooden girl, and instead they got ambushed by a sentient, rapidly growing jungle. It is such a creative, empowering use of what was supposed to be a punishment.
Section 4. Becoming a Real Girl, The Power of Honesty.
Of course, Pinocchia quickly realized that living as an aggressive walking garden wasn't exactly fun in the long run. So we get this beautiful sequence of events. She returns to Geppetto's workshop and finally sets down her pruning shears, surrendering the fight. Then she confesses every single truth she had ever hidden. With every honest word, those wild, chaotic branches slowly retreat,
turning back into sleek, polished golden hair. Finally, the blue fairy reappears, smiles at her courage, and waves her magic wand. The wooden joints vanish, replaced by warm skin and a real beating heart. The blue fairy's response really captures the moral here. You have shown that honesty requires real strength, Pinocchia. It wasn't about just being a good girl who blindly obeys the rules. It was about the immense courage it takes to lay down your defenses, drop the scissors, and be entirely truthful, especially when it's incredibly hard to do.
Section 5. What is your curse?
So, if Geppetto had made a girl, the story would have been much greener, definitely a bit more chaotic, and absolutely a total nightmare for hairstylists. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a fun thought experiment. If you were made of wood, which part of you would grow when you lied? Would it be your ears? Your shoes? Drop your hilarious ideas in the comments below, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and I'll see you in our next explainer.